Okay. Alright, folks. Silveus here. I'm back on Leaf. I'm still a free account, which sucks, let me tell you. Still don't know what number it is, and I'm way too lazy to continue to check. So game plan today is, I probably need the thing again, don't I? Yep, gotta go buy another thing. I want to try the Minos that I know are near Khazad-dûm. Now, I know they're near Khazad-dûm, and I've, accidentally stumbled upon them, sort of, in the past. What do I say? Ticket to this dude? Tickets? I'm pretty sure, there's a quest or something that took me through there. But I've never actually hunted them, so I don't really know what I'm getting into. So, yeah, I'm not really sure what I'm gonna experience here, and also I think I should mention too, is it this one south? Is it this one? It's that one. I also don't really know exactly where I'm going. I'm pretty confident it's over here. Anyway, so I do actually have a topic of conversation for this one. To follow up, though, the last ones I was talking about, that 911 job, I did actually hear back from them. I did not get that job, which is pretty catastrophically awful for me, come to think of it. Yeah. There are very few jobs that don't blow in my area, and that was one of them, which would have been really awesome to get, and I did not get it, so that's bad. And also being in the this is a catastrophic situation is the fact that that was basically, I desperately needed that job. So yeah, I'm kind of boned right now. But anyway. Yeah, as you can see, I'm still a free account, because I literally do not have the $9 that is required for me to not be a free account any longer. Not a good sign. Not a good sign. Now, let me, before I... Do I want to go down here, maybe? Let me look at my map a little bit. I think... Is that a... That's... Whatever, we're going to walk over here and see if this is the correct way, and then if it's not, we'll loop around. But yeah, so my finances are in a complete disaster. Anyway, though, after that happened, I was quite depressed. Which I feel like is reasonable. Do I have a shovel on me? Shovel. Okay. I still not really sure where I'm going. So anyway, though, I was kind of just oh man, this sucks. And my nose, perfect. You know, I wasn't really in the mood for playing League of Legends and stuff like that. Plus, that kind of game, you gotta take a break from it every now and then. Is it this backpack? Is my money backpack? That is my money backpack, and accidentally kept a crossbow on me, which I did not realize. Yeah, this is where I want to be. And this is why you don't run forward while running away from melee enemies. But anyway, God, I want to kill him with the Divine Strike so badly. So badly. Yeah, so, really bad that I didn't get that job. Kind of a catastrophic situation, to be honest. But anyway, moving on. So I was kind of, depressed. Still kind of actually depressed. But anyway, again, was looking for, something to just kind of, distract me from my catastrophic life situation at this point. So I wanted to play a game. So I'm, looking through my Steam library, trying to find something that was, catching my attention. And I had nothing. There was just nothing in my Steam library that really looked interesting to me. And then, I tried to download a couple of games. I saw that there was I have Ashes of the Singularity Escalation, which is, to be honest, a pretty fun game. It's not particularly a game that I'm good at. It's like an RTS type game, right? But a little bit more on a high scale. Think Supreme Commander, like that. Problem is, it's a lot more the enemy is a lot more I'm going to hit you kind of situation repeatedly, and I don't handle that particularly well. When I play those types of games, I like to I like to rely on like static defenses, like turrets and stuff like that, to fortify my main defenses. This box is empty. I've apparently looted that. And I have no memory of doing that, but okay. What would I have been doing here? I'm trying to think. Maybe the Postman quest would have brought me here? Found 56 gold coins. That's cool. Anyway, yeah, like, so I try to rely on, like, static defenses, and then, you know, just kind of get, like, a huge army kind of going, and then just kind of, like, steamroll with my huge army. And that was not really a viable option in this game because of how often they'll attack you from so many different spots. And also, the game doesn't do a terribly great job, like, alerting you to the fact that you're under attack from a certain location. So I'd constantly, like, my left flank would just be getting destroyed, and I would have no idea it was happening. But anyway, so I was like, oh man, I saw that they had a expansion for that. Not an expansion, but, like, I guess a patch and additional content. So I was like, let me try that. And I just, like, I was just getting wrecked on the second mission of the new campaign. Which is like, alright, I don't want to do this. So, next option. Anything in there? Steel helmet, that's cool. You know, so like I moved on to another game. I got this stupid game called Triple Town, which is apparently a mobile game. I don't even know. But I've played it before, and it was like not great, but it was a good way of just being like, I'm gonna waste an hour or something like that. So I was like, this is pretty awesome, sort of. It's kind of like exactly what I want right now. Something to just kind of distract me, and you know, Triple Town would have worked. Also, you know, like, the fact that the download took 3 minutes to complete was kind of nice, whereas, like, Ashes of the Singularity took Steam 15 hours to download, because holy crap. How do I get over there? Huh. So yeah, I gotta play Triple Town. I can't play Triple Town. Why? Because I don't remember how to play Triple Town, right? Like, you know, it's been a while since I played it last. I don't know the rules. I need to play the tutorial again. And Triple Town does not let you start a new game. You just get one game on Triple Town and it never goes away. It's like, well, this is dumb. Well, I just completely was blind and missed that thing there. That's cool. Oh, I'm super excited that these Mino Mages aren't really shooting at me. Like, that one hit me once with an energy attack, but that was it. And he hit me another one, but still. By the way, it's killing me inside that I don't have an obsidian knife on me. Like, I so badly want an obsidian knife. Killing me. I think a boatload of bolts, though, which is nice. Another chest that I've apparently opened without remembering. So I was just like, dude, right? By the way, I did eventually find a game that I wanted to play. I ended up playing Recettear, which I did videos of. And the reason why I stopped doing the videos of Recettear was because I was running into this problem where it would crash a lot when I was going down a level in the dungeon. And unfortunately, going down in dungeons is a vital aspect of the game. So the game crashing while I'm doing that was not really something I could just deal with. And you can only leave the dungeon in Recettear every 5 dungeon levels. So being like there's a 50% chance that it crashes every time I go down a level, and I have to successfully go down 5 levels before I could leave, was not really an option. But I figured, like, what the heck? I want to try it. So I tried it, no problems at all. I have not had a single freeze or crash. I don't understand why. But yeah, so I did play Recettear. But before I started playing Recettear, I was like, you know what? I haven't watched an anime in a while. Maybe I'll watch an anime. So, I wanted to watch something new. You know, I had a couple of animes that I saved, 1 episode of, and things like that. The thing is, a lot of the animes that I've looked at recently that were, looking okay were animes that were based on manga or, novels that I've already read. I feel like, on one hand, I've become a lot more, conservative with my, what I decide to spend time on, especially in the case of animes, by the way, because they are such a time commitment. I mean, even for a short a 12 episode guy, I'm looking at 6 hours essentially. Well, I mean less. I'm looking at maybe like 4 or 5 hours because the episodes aren't actually whatever, but still. Yes, let's see, what do I get? Crypt Shamblers? The only thing here that I can actually fight are Quorms. And what did I get? Damage boost. Yeah, that's super not really important to me. I feel like there's no real reason for me to be picking up these crossbows, but I want to pick them up anyway. Yeah, like, what the heck? This is kind of cool. I've never been here before. I was kind of hoping I'd run into more of the, like, higher level minos, but this is still kind of a cool place. Yeah, so, like, I've become, like, really conservative, though, when it comes to, like, reading and consuming new, like, content like that. I think I have at least, but, okay, so here's the thing, right? So I was like, let's see what new animes have come out, because I haven't checked in a while. So I type in, and I'm not sure when I last checked. So I type in, there's a website, I think it's like Anime List or something like that, where they make like basically like a page that's all the new animes of a season. So I'm like, let me just go with like fall 2016. So I pull up the thing for fall of 2016, and I'm looking at all the animes, and I'm like, wow, nothing looks good. The only things that looked sort of good, and that was kind of a stretch, were, again, things that are based on light novels or mangas that I've already read. So I'm like, alright. Winter 2016, same thing. Spring 2017, same thing. Okay. Okay. So then finally I looked at summer 17, and I found 4 that were... I considered them. Problem was, though, they were still being released, and I wasn't excited about that either. But the 4 things were, I don't know the Japanese name, but it's the Otherworld's Dining Hall or something like that. It's basically about this, like, restaurant that every week or month or something like that, its doorway opens up as a portal to a, like, fantasy world, and people can go through that to just eat at this restaurant. It was very, like, the light novel was kind of, like, lighthearted and just kind of, like, an easy, enjoyable read. So I was like, alright, that's good. But as you can see, it's, you know, something that I've read the light novel for. There was a manga, Shotoko Altater or something like that, which I'm pretty sure is about the formation of the, like, Ottoman Empire, basically. It's about, like, Turkey waging or, you know, having, like, political intrigue and fighting a war with some, like, European nation. So, I mean, that was interesting. But again, manga that I've read. There was... I actually have the page up. I'm going to pull it up real quick. Otherworld Dining Hall. Knights and Magic, which, again, I read the light novel for. Dude is a, like, I don't know, regular businessman in Japan, dies. In his spare time, he liked to make, like, models of robots and stuff like that, Gundams and things, Voltron, I think. He dies and he wakes up into a world that has giant robots, and he's all excited about becoming a giant robot pilot, and yada, yada, yada. Actually, I enjoy that one. That was the one I was probably, like, most interested in watching. But, yeah. And then the final one was Kakegurui or something like that, where this girl, she's the main character. And I've mentioned this before, I like shows where it's like a strong, competent female lead character. I don't really enjoy, like, the shoujo romancy stuff where the main character's like a mindless girl that's got this, like, superly awesome, handsome dude that she's all fawning over, because that has no connection to my particular lifestyle. But I like when the main character's like, you know, like a woman who kills people or things like that. So it's she's in high school, and everything in the high school is based off of gambling. So, again, though, read the manga, so it was interesting. But I was, like, looking at all these different things, and I was like, you know, it's kind of... I mean, like, yeah, I do feel in one way that I've become a lot more conservative, where, like, I'm just, like, I don't want to take the time investment on these things. But on the other hand, I feel like, also, I'll mention this too, I do feel like my standards have probably risen. What I used to find acceptable is no longer acceptable to me. And I think part of that is actually me just, like, having grown to the point where I've consumed so much anime media that I realize now that the things I thought were acceptable in the past are actually not. But I also think, and this is the part that was kind of depressing to me, was I do think that the, like, anime environment of what's popular has changed, and I'm no longer their, like, target demographic. What is popular now is things I don't like. You know, at the same time too, I'll mention this also. When I used to work at that grocery store, one of the things I actually enjoyed was the car ride to and from work, because I don't really listen to a lot of music. And the music I do listen to is, like, I stumble upon one song that I like, and then I basically just listen to that song exclusively while it's on repeat for, like, forever. Right? So, I enjoyed the car ride because I would get a chance to listen to the radio. And I would stumble upon, like, new songs that I enjoyed that way. And, you know what? In the past couple of years, I used to, like, ignoring repeat songs, right? Like, ones that I've heard before. I used to encounter, like, a new song where I'd be like, yeah, this isn't bad. Not necessarily something that I would, like, track down later on and add it to my playlist or something. But I would stumble upon a song where I'd be like, yeah, this is pretty solid. I like this song. Maybe, like, 1 out of every 4 songs or something like that. And nowadays, it's like, it's been several months since I've listened to a song on the radio that hasn't been a song I've heard before that I enjoyed. Like, just what is popular music now is just no longer a thing I enjoy. And that's how I was feeling with the animes. I was, like, looking at all these animes, and I was just like, oh, man, that's just not what I want. The environment of anime has evolved, or I have evolved, one of those, in such a way that it's not a viable option for me. And I was actually, like, really depressed. I was just like, oh, man, ooh, what is this? I have no idea what that is. Yeah, I was just really bummed. And then what made me decide to make this video now, actually, too, is the other day I was reminded of this manga I read. And I was just like, yeah, I want to track that down. It was actually super annoying trying to track it down because I could not remember the name. And trying to Google something when you don't remember its name is actually super obnoxious because, you know, obvious reasons. Yeah, so I get on there, and the one thing I could remember, though, was it contains a word that started with Q. And because English, Q is always followed by U, and is an extremely uncommon letter. Searching just for mangas that contain QU in them actually eventually got me to it. So I did reread it. It was, to be honest, I enjoyed it the second time around. It was as good as I remembered it, I think. But anyway, I was trying to find, like, it occurred to me that, and I've actually kind of, like, mentioned this in a couple of my videos, but a lot of mangas that I've followed have since ended. And I was kind of like, you know, I feel like I read a lot less manga now than I used to in the past. And it occurred to me, I used to, like, I would rarely drop a manga, right? Like, something that I had already invested my time into and been following for a while, it is very rare that I would drop it and be like, yeah, I'm done with this. It's just, the story has developed in such a crappy way that I just can't do this, so I'm dropping it. Like, it's pretty rare that I would do that. And then it's also pretty rare that a manga just, you know, it ends its serialization. But it is, like, I used to, like, maybe every 3 months I'd lose, like, let's say anywhere between, like, 1 and 5 manga, or something like that. They'd end, or I'd just be like, yeah, this isn't all that good. But in that same amount of time, I would, like, pick up like 3 to 10 new ones. So like my reading list was always increasing, and I enjoyed that because like I like reading. So it occurred to me though, like there's a lot less manga I read these days, and I mean like I read one manga that's like I don't even know what I don't know what its like actual name is called, but it's like a light manga where each of the chapters are only 5 or 6 pages. I'm actually going to Tibia Wiki real quick to pull up Tibia Wiki Iron Hammer because I want to see if that's worth anything or used for anything. I can sell it to HL and Venor for 9 gold. No, okay. It's absolutely worthless. Good to know. Also good to know that I've been standing next to a Mino Archer this whole time. That's good to know also. So yeah, it's like the chapters are short, and I read 2 separate mangas. You know, I want to pull them up real quick because I want to mention their names. Hold on. Tomo-chan wa Onanako and Muso Telepathy, I think it is. Both of which each chapter is 1 page. So I feel like I'm spending a lot less time reading manga than I used to, and I'm not necessarily happy with that. So I pulled up, like, I go to the website I use, I think it's called Manga Here. I pull up Manga Here, and I pull up their, like, hot manga list. So it's like their top-rated mangas, right? And I searched to only show completed ones, right? So there was 40? There were 40 manga on the first page, right? There were completed mangas. And I had read to completion 18 of them. And then I had read but dropped towards the end or at some point in them 5 of the remaining 22 of them. And like the other ones were like shoujo mangas or things that I wasn't really interested in and stuff like that. Like, you know, actually, I'll be honest, I probably read more shoujo manga, which is manga aimed at like young girls, usually with like a romance bent or something like that. I read more of those than I do the like ecchi harem mangas because like I don't really enjoy those. Oh, 2 Mino horns, not bad. It's not so much I have like an issue with the harem mangas, I just feel like they're usually poorly written. But anyway, so I was like looking through this, and it was a nice jog down memory lane for me because I was like, oh man, Bakuman, dude, I loved Bakuman. And I'll tell you something else too, right? A lot of these mangas, like off the top of my head, Akumetsu, which I spoke about in a video a while back. Akumetsu, I love, absolutely love it. It's definitely in one of my like top 10 for sure, top 5 possibly lists. When I read Akumetsu, it was already all out. So like I just sat down and read all like 180 chapters or whatever it was. Bakuman was one that I started reading it when there was a decent like stockpile of chapters, but it wasn't finished yet, so I still got that like, yeah, I'm looking forward to my next Bakuman chapter kind of thing. Kingdom, which is one that's currently releasing, is another one that I've been following for a long time, and I'm like, you know, I really enjoy Kingdom. And I really enjoy the act of like waiting, not necessarily waiting for a new chapter, but I like the fact that like I have something to look forward to. Like, oh man, it's almost Kingdom Day. Granted, Kingdom's release rate has decreased drastically, and I'm not sure if that's an issue with the translator or an issue of the like actual releases being slow. But that is slightly depressing to me also. But yeah, so like Bakuman was one of those ones where I was like, I got to look forward to it. I saw like The World God Only Knows, which his title is very misleading, but is also an enjoyable one. I enjoy World God Only Knows. And that was one that I got to like follow. I'm actually gonna pull that page up real quick because I want to like look through some of them. And I did either not realize there was a second Mino guard there or didn't attack the first one. I'm not sure what I just did. Let's throw one of these crossbows on the floor, because I think the brass armor is a better deal. So, like, going down the list, right, of latest updated ones. That's not what I want. I want, rating. Is that what I did? Ugh. I must have done... Alright, I must have been searching them in a different way or something like that. Because that's... crap. I feel like this is not right. Let me start this over. I'm going to end up dead while I'm doing this, by the way. Something's going to, like, scroll, like, casually walk up to me while I'm trying to find the completed button. Should probably heal myself, too, while I'm at it. Alright. So yeah, like, Akami ga Kiru. Remember that one? That was a good one. I like that one. I remember reading the first chapter of that one. That one was pretty wild, actually, come to think of it. That was a serialized monthly one, too, so I followed that one for a decent amount of time. Girls of the Wild is, like, something that I forgot existed, and it was actually pretty terrible now that I think about it. I would say I largely finished that one just for the sake of finishing it. What else we got? Yamada-kun to 7 nin no Mahal? Something like that. Yeah, it was like Yamada-kun and the 7 Witches is what it was. That's one I actually dropped. It just got, like, repetitive and boring. I felt like, I feel bad dropping these a lot of times, but I was like, Ansatsu Kyushitsu, it's that one where the teacher is like a freaking octopus or something. That one had an anime to it that was really popular. Yeah, it was okay. I didn't enjoy it, but I appreciated that artist, or the dude who like came up with it. His name was Matsui Yusei, and he also did, and now I can't find it. Majin Tente Nogami Nero, which is something I had read before and enjoyed. So I was like, oh, I'm not a big fan of this particular work, but I like the guy's work, so I stuck with it. Like, Nanette Kaoru, The Breaker New Waves, Nisekoi, I actually had dropped halfway through. History's Strongest Disciple Kenichi, Beelzebub, Kiwaguro no Brynhilder, Love So Life, Kono Kitachi. Kono Kitachi was really good, by the way. Very, like... there's stories that you consume, whether or not it's a manga or a book or a TV show or a movie, that's like... and I'm gonna say it like a cheap thrill, and I don't mean it in that sense, that, like, I don't want to be, like, negative about it. Where it's just a story, it's an enjoyable story, you have fun, it's, it's flashy maybe, it's, like, sappy, you laugh, whatever it is, you enjoy it. And then there's things like actually, like, elicit a stronger emotional response in a person. Like, I don't want to, like, be stupid and mushy, but, like, they touch your soul, kind of. Akumetsu was something that was just like, oh, this is awesome, this is sick! Kono Katachi was something where I was like, I feel some sorts of way about this. This is intense, but yeah. That was good. Sankaria. There's a Naruto here. Tokyo Kushu, Tokyo Ghoul, as most people know it. Which, you know what, was super popular, and I did not enjoy it. I didn't think it was good. I didn't think it was well written. I, like, wasn't really interested in continuing the story. I did, because I was like, everybody was like, dude, this is the best thing ever. I want to see if it really was. But the whole time I was just like, this is something. I wasn't interested in the character. Very just did not get the Silveus stamp of approval. Let's say it that way. I want these bats to die, but I don't want to waste arrows. I don't want to waste the bolts that I have too many of and that I'm carrying around for no reason. Kanji no Nero ni Nerohi, the world God only knows is there. Air Gear. Air Gear went to crap towards the end. Became utter nonsense, and it was already kind of stupid. I mean, like, we're talking about a story about people with, like, motorized rollerblades. First of all, I don't know about Japan, but, like, rollerblades were a cool thing in, like, the 80s. maybe the 90s and the 70s. I mean, like, the concept, I guess, was kind of, like, interesting, and, you know, like, I get it. But towards the end, it was... Whew! I mean, like, alright. Towards the end of it, President Obama was a character, okay? Let's put that out. And he was the president at the time. I'm not going to start heading back. President Obama was a character. And not only was he a character, but his mind gets switched with one of the girls that's in their group of friends, and then she has to pretend to be President Obama while he has to be a girl with motorized roller skates. That happened. And that wasn't even the most retarded thing that happened. Until Death Do Us Part, Maho Sensei Nagima, Nozaki Anna. Like, there's so many of them here, too. I'm just like, Anna Satsujin, Green Worlds, which, to be honest, was terrible. Feng Shenji, which was technically not a Japanese manga. Claymore. To Love Ru Darkness also. That was like one of the few harem things that I actually was like okay with. Katakoyo Hitman Reborn, Yashisiya Sekai no Sukaritskata or something like that. I don't even know. I want to come back and talk about that one in the next video. But yeah, it's this walk down memory lane, and I was kind of like depressed because I was like, dude, there were so many things that I enjoyed, and so many things that I was just like, yeah, like I had such good times with those, right? Like I really legitimately enjoyed my time with those things, and they just don't exist anymore, kind of. And I was like, I had so much fun with them, and now not only are they gone, wrong one, this one. I'm going up here to check something before I finish this up. Not only did I have so much fun and do I not follow them any longer, but there's the fact that nothing like replaced them either. You know, like they're a good friend that had to like move or something, and I'm depressed in that sense. But not only did my good friend move and I don't see them anymore, but I did not get another friend. And as all of my friends like left, I'm just sitting there like alone, being like, well, I have nobody now. So alone. Forever alone. But really, here's the thing that actually ended up depressing me more. When I was looking through them, I saw, and I don't remember the name of it, All You Have Is Kill, I think it's called. I'm trying to find it real quick. Pretty sure it was called All You Have Is Kill. It's killing me. All You Have Is Kill is killing me. All You Need Is Kill. There we go. All You Need Is Kill. Which is the like manga version of the book that was the premise for that movie with Ted Cruz? No, not Ted Cruz. Tom Cruise? Yeah, Tom Cruise. Ted Cruz is the American politician. Ted Cruz, or Tom Cruise, I think, is the dude. That movie with Tom Cruise called The Edge of Tomorrow. Which was a not good movie. Cyclops is alright. I might do another video there. You know, I'm actually closer to Abdendril. I might end in Abdendril. So yeah, I was like, I reread that because it was enjoyable, and as I was reading it, I was like, you know, I recognize this dude's art. So I go back and like the website I use to read these has like you can click on the artist's name and it'll take you to it. And I knew it's a different artist because the story is based off of a book. Sometimes the artist is the same as the author, not always though. So like I click on the artist's name, and he is the artist that also did Bakuman. So I was like, oh, I loved Bakuman. And I also noticed, too, interestingly enough, that he was the artist that did Death Note. So here's what I know about this dude, too. Like, Bakuman and Death Note were both really popular. Death Note even more so. Both of them got really long, like, anime seasons that were also really popular. Like, I know these weren't, like, you know, crap shoots or whatever. Like, this dude did some real stuff here, right? So I'm like looking, I'm like, I wonder if he's made anything new. he has not released anything new besides a one-shot in the past, like, 3 years. So I was like, oh, man. So I'm, like, clicking on some of these other ones, and I'm looking at them, and, like, I don't know if they've died, I don't know if they've retired, I don't know if their new work has just been utter crap and nobody's wanted to, like, bother to translate it. But I'm looking at all these, like, these old, like, manga artists that, like, you know, when I first was into this stuff back, like, 10 years ago at this point, and even longer, I first started really watching anime. Let's discount. I used to watch, like, Gundam Wing and, like, Dragon Ball Z on, like, Toonami, it was called, on Cartoon Network. But, I started, like, really watching anime, and the first anime I ever watched was Eureka 7, and that came out in, like, 2005, 2006. And, you know, I didn't read manga at that point. I eventually, like, discovered manga. But, I mean, like, a lot of these people that I, like, were the greats back in my, like, the prime of me doing anime and manga and stuff like that have just, like, disappeared from the scene. It's actually, like, really depressing to me. I was, like, really saddened by this. Anyway, folks, that is it for me. Like, favorite, comment, subscribe. Check me out on Patreon, Twitter, and not really Facebook. But I'll see you folks later. Have a good night.